Hello, welcome to this channel. This is Witches School. My name is Carolina, and today we are going to talk about the European Union and the lunar revolution for May, and we are going to see a little bit of June and what's coming astrologically for this group of countries, okay, and all the European community. So I invite you all to subscribe to this channel and share, and also I thank you all who can give me your thumbs up and leave me a comment so you can help me to make this channel to grow. Okay, we are going to talk about, as I said, about the European Union and the lunar revolution, which started the 19th of May, okay, 2023. So we are right now inside of this lunar revolution, okay? You can see the chart in the screen, okay? I'm sharing with you, and we have the sun, okay, in the 12th house, okay? So that's a start of something that is complicated, okay? And also we are going to have an ascendant or a rising sign in this month, in this period of time, that is in Toro and is in the 12th house again, okay? So the rising sun in Toro, all the themes related with money, finances, banks, okay, stability or instability, and all the structures or the old structures of economy are in absolute danger of collapse. And that's what's coming for the European Union, okay? This is going to be a really tense and complicated time. We have to understand that the lunar revolutions always talk about the energy of a month, okay? And we have some kind of things that are going to be happening for the energy that is coming, okay, and some things that are going to be happening for the energy that is going outside, okay, the relationships between the planets, okay. So I think the European Union has to pay really attention to virtual money, okay, and all that kind of transactions and commercial transactions and relationships, okay. We also have in the house number 1, as you can see, Gemini, okay, and Gemini is showing us different faces to the world, okay. The European Union is going to show different faces, different sides, okay, because Gemini, when it's in your house number 1, is like can say something one day and say something the other day and say something, because it's a sign that is changing, okay, the way that he thinks maybe, and this could happening from the day through the night, so the European Union is going to show to the world, because the house number 1 in world astrology has to be with the what that we are showing to the world, okay, the image that we are showing, and also who we are, as our personality, our identity, the character of this community, okay. So the sun in the house number 12, as you can see in the chart, okay, is the character or the leadership, okay, of this community. I think this will be a time where a lot of discussions and conflicts are going to come. A lot of enemies are going to show up also for the community, and these I think these characters or these people are going to be showing like intentions and strong intentions with everything that has to be with all the essence of Toro, that is the money, the finances, okay. I think that these enemies that been hiding, now they are showing up, okay, and they will put like in risk all the financial situation for the European community. Okay. Also, we have to think that Toro has to be is related in world astrology with food, with the resources, the way that we can make resources, how we administrate those resources. And you can see there we have a stellium, okay, because we have like 4 planets, okay, and the north lunar node. So it's like a big population there, and it's the 12th house. And world astrology, the 12th house is a really dense and complicated place because it's showing all the miseries of the community and the places. We are going to see maybe some things that are going to be showing us the real conditions of this group of societies. We can see here poverty, we can see here hunger, we can see here a lot of things that I think that is going to be the start of a big collapse for this community. As I said, something is changing there, and with Gemini in the house number 1, we can also assume that this community is going to be changing and showing different faces, but I think that could be related to different interests between those countries. Like they all united in some point of I think that when the European Union was born, it was like in the benefit of the community. But right now these countries are going to be seeing that they need maybe different things than the others, and I think there is going to be starting a period of time where they will have to take some conversations and maybe renew the agreements and renew maybe all those pacts and things that were established at the beginning of this community. Okay, so as I said, the character and the leadership will be in discussion, and also the enemies that have been hiding, this could be appearing to the light and shocking the community. Okay, Uranus is also is going to be like Uranus is like a big shock. It's the revolutionary. Okay, Uranus is like moving all the things that were structured in some ways. So right now is there so close to the sun and mostly in a conjunction. Okay, so I think the character will be showing new aspects, and conflicts and confrontations. And I think also in the 12th house we have to watch really close, all the things that has to be with explosions, the energy, okay, all the things that has to be with resources for the people. Also, you can see there we have the moon is kind of hidden behind Uranus, but you can see that the moon also is connected with this revolutionary character that the European Union is going to show. So I think that societies, the population are going to be exploding also, because they are going to maybe ask or to the people is going to be saying what they want from or for their representatives, So it's going to be a really tense time where I think that it could be everything is going to be in a conflict zone, okay? And it's a time for being really being like taking care of all the issues that are going to be related with finances, economy, and stability, and the natural resources also, um, and all this kind of stuff. Okay, we are going to see also the moon, as I said, in conjunction. The conditions of the people will change. Okay, for worst. Okay, for worse in Europe. The financial crisis shocks everything, and the people, all that things that the people thought was like stable and untouchable, suddenly will going to collapse. Okay, we can see also in the chart Chiron in the 12th house also, okay, but in Aries, okay, and Aries is kind of complicated because the leaders are like with this profound gund that is Chiron, okay, and this is happening all around the world anyway. Like all the leaders are wounded right now, but I think here is going to show something that is absolutely changing everything for this community, and we are going to see big changes, and why not some pacts and some kind of agreements that are going to be collapsing. Okay, the gund the society have is going to be visible for everyone, okay, everywhere, even in the real leadership of European communities. Okay, Chiron in opposition, okay, you can see in the chart the opposition to the unfortunate point, okay, in the 6th house. Lots of issues with working class, okay, and the salaries maybe also, the quality of life of the working people. The 6th house is talking about health, is talking about your money and how you can use it, and how much can you spend. Also is talking about the service that you bring, and that could take, I think, for a lot of workers, like this is going to be a complicated time because the money is not the same. You cannot do the same things probably, and the unfortunate point there is talking about a lot of people who are going to lose their jobs, okay, and maybe this could talk about enterprises that are going to be closing the doors, and a complicated time for all of you who have a work in a relationship, where you depend from someone else, okay? So also this Chiron in opposition to the unfortunate point in Libra, seeking for a new balance, okay? So the European Union will need a new balance in these issues and in these themes, okay? We can also see here that this 6th house is sharing some space with Scorpio, and a Scorpio is like a big transformation, is ruled by Pluto. So Pluto is always destroying first and reconstructing later. So I think that a new balance, or maybe the balance of these people, these working classes people, is going to be in shock, okay? And you can lose your quality of life. And also this is going to be suffering a big transformation, a destruction first and a reconstruction later, okay? We can also see the black moon. You can see that in the bottom of the chart in the house of fourth. And the black moon is the darkness. I mean, when we are talking about astrology world, the black moon is a period of time where some space, some area is taken by the darkness, okay? All the things that are complicated, and we can see here the house fourth, and the house fourth is talking about the identity of belonging of the community, the basis of this community, maybe the principles, and we can see here that the black moon is the darkness in the identity of belonging. I think the war is going to bring a situation and military issues everywhere in the European Union really soon, okay? And you maybe can say, but why the war has to be with this? Well, we have Mars, in the cusp of this house, in the first degrees, and now Mars is in Leo, completely inside the sign, is getting so close to the black moon right now, and this is happening in the house number 4. So I think that the war is going to be intensifying the energy and the conflict and the violence, and I think maybe some other places or countries or neighbors will have to take really care of this, and you can also see a lot of military movements in those countries, and this community is going to be like having a tense, violent time, okay? The violence of the war is going to be like growing, okay? Mars in 4 could talk about more conflicts and chaos inside the union, okay? And violent moments. Pluto in the middle sky, you can see that on the top of the chart, in the middle sky in house number 10. And house number 10 in astrology world is talking about the leadership of the community, okay? So the rulers of the community, I don't know if in the community, in the European Union, you have like some leaders like governments or something like that, but the leaders, okay, who are taking decisions in this community, and you can see that is taken by Pluto, okay, and Pluto in the first, in 0 degrees of Aquarius, okay, wants to take a big transformation in the leadership. I think something of that leadership is going to be like completely disintegrated. Something is going to be really showing the worst of everyone. Something is going to be like because I think that's something that started maybe with some intention of the community, the group, the societies as a community, and all that words that has to be so related to Aquarius. But right now, Pluto is like showing the first issues that he will be moving in the next 22 years. So I think this is a shocking effect, okay? And all the structures where this European Union was or were like having all the I think it's the basis, the foundations, the fundamentals, of this community are going to be falling down, and now they are going to be needing to rebuild a new community sense, and maybe a new, it's kind of getting all the structures like renew or taking a moment for think about all the agreements and rethink about that and start over. You know, it's like a new chapter, something like that. You know, like a new chapter, and we have to evaluate everything that we have established at first. You know, so Pluto in the middle sky is in the house of all the themes of the borders also, you know. And immigration laws, I think here Pluto is going to be destroying uh, everything in these issues and these themes of immigration, the borders. I think it's coming a lot of situations that are going to be really complicated. Okay, as I said, the laws, the control of the situation that is creating a big chaos in that issues. Pluto is bringing a big shift in all these areas and will destroy first the structures created in the past. Okay, also Pluto, as you can see, is in a square with Jupiter. Okay, in the 12th house. The changes that will come put the I think the all the heads of the European Union in a moment of a radical decomposition. Okay, and I think here will be a big change. It's like the European Union will have to readapt to something or die or finish or dissolve this community, because I think everyone will be fighting for their own interests, you know. Especially we can see also the Jupiter in a square to Mars also in the 4th house. You know, in Jupiter you have to resignify what the what the things in Toro, the money, the resources, all the things that has to be with the banks, you know, the big enterprises, you know, and in a square to Mars, I think that this situation of the war and the violence, you know, and the military forces, you know, are going to be putting these aspects, you know, of the significance of something that is related to Toro, that is going to be really shocking down, you know. And also we can see Pluto in the top of the house, you know, in that 0 degree of the 10th house, in opposition to Mars. So something that is being destroyed in this place where is the leadership of the European Union, in opposition to Mars. Okay, Mars is what I want to impose to others, you know, and especially Mars in Leo, already is in Leo. Leo, I fight for my own interest and not for the community interest. And Aquarius represents the groups and the community, but Leo is me, is my own interest. So I think that in this fight, some leaders will show the dark side, you know, because the 4th house is the identity of belonging, the basis of this community, and this area is taken by Mars, arms, violence, bombs, war, you know, military presence everywhere, you know, and the black moon. So I think maybe also the European Union could experience some kind of violent attack, unexpected, and will have to take some decisions, especially as individuals. As individuals, I say this like every country of this community will be asking in their own individuality what is the best for their people, and all this sense of community could be dissolved. Okay, so I think it's a period also where all the laws and agreements will be in danger of being destructed. So it's a complicated time, I have to say that. We can see also Saturn in the house 11, and the 11th house in world astrology is talking about all the groups, the masses of people that are moving, the masses of people that are going from one place to another, masses of people, okay? And I think there also is talking about masses of people, immigrants maybe, that are going, that are arriving through the waters, and Saturn is going to show like a boundary there, you know, like a restriction there. It's you know, like stop with something, you know, is waves of people moving. Mars is in unconjunction here, and I think that this could be out of control. Saturn wants to put some kind of order in these aspects, okay, in Pisces. And Saturn also is the army, you know, like I said before. And the 11th house is talking about masses of people. So this is something that you need to pay attention to, okay? So European Union, I left this information for all of you. We are going to see what is happening, and then we are going to share some accomplished predictions. So I see you in the next time, and I hope that you can share this video, and you can give me your thumbs up and leave me a comment, and I see you in next time.